Number 5, what does our calendar and checkbook look like? What does our calendar and checkbook look like? Now, I know it's 2023 and y'all love that Google Calendar and all the calendar shares and all that stuff. Yeah, I think there is a place for that. I will confess, as I always do, I'm typically, my wife is typically way ahead of me on most things. And so she had one of these, like I'm holding it up right now, these spiraled type calendars. So every time we went to make a plan for something, she'd say, hold on, I'm gonna go get my calendar. Like, what are we, 80? What are we doing? So she'd go get her calendar and she'd say, okay, we got soccer at 5:30. You got your Zoom at 9. We have this over here. We have, okay, can we do this or does it work or not? Okay, I need to let them know. So one day I got sick of being caught off guard on some things. We got into all this back to school stuff and I bought one of these calendars. I don't know how I ever lived without one to begin with. I mean, it is a lifesaver. But I look at my calendar. If you look at it right now, you say, where are you spending your time? Well, what gets written down on here is mostly kids, and it's mostly soccer and podcast, because those guys, I'm trying to keep them straight too, and sometimes I forget. So podcast and soccer, it seems like that. Looks like a lot of school stuff so far. My point is that usually is indicative, forgive me, indicative of what's going on in your house. What is our calendar? What does our checkbook look like? Am I spending all my money on travel ball? Well, then you become a professional travel ball parent. It's going to be hard to do these other things we just talked about. It's going to be hard to know if the gospel's at your address if you spend all your time in a folding chair eating, goldfish crackers and drinking Gatorade. I mean, hey, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But man, don't forget, we have never been given permission. We have never been given permission to sacrifice our family on the altar of athletics, education, or ministry. And you can justify your calendar, you can justify your checkbook, you can justify your season of life and say, well, Jared, that's fine for you, but that doesn't change the charge that God has given to men to lead their home spiritually. And you can say, well, that might work for you. No, that is what is in print. I'm just telling you what the book says. And so if we somehow justify sacrificing our kids, our marriage, or whatever on fun, on, again, travel, on, athletics, education, every activity that blows by, we say, well, we'll get to it someday. What you're going to find is you're going to run out of some days. It's inevitable. There will come a point where God says, well, that's it. And I know as my kids get older, my influence in their life is waning, okay? And I say that as a guy who did not get it very well when they were younger.